What's up, Vetters? Patrick here with Vetted. Today we're talking about this.
I was contacted last night by an insider from Washington, D.C., from the Trump administration, who told me basically that President Trump has already written his speech, his statement that he will give about UFO disclosure this year. Well, now he's got back to me and told me the exact date, and you can hold me to account for this, okay?
We are not alone in the universe. We are not alone in the universe.
All right, Vetters, please hit that like button. That really helps out the videos. And of course, if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. All right, so what's today's video about? Well, it's about what you just saw, right? It's a gentleman that goes by the name Mark Christopher Lee. Okay, he is a filmmaker out of the UK, also a musician. I actually had the pleasure of interviewing him late last year about a new documentary that he had come out about Rendlesham Forest. I'm going to put a link down below to that interview so you can check it out. It is for members only on YouTube, but feel free to check it out. So I did interview this guy, and I just saw some TikTok videos that he put out that are quite interesting. So we're going to kind of take a look at him. He's basically claiming that an insider contacted him from the Trump administration and told him that President Trump is going to give a speech about disclosure, you know, the "we are not alone" speech, right? And that's going to happen this year. And then that was the first video released. Then he released the second video saying that now he knows the date of when exactly it's going to happen.
You know, diving deep into all these wild UFO stories and eyewitness accounts, I spent a ton of time researching, editing episodes, and just freaking out over all the crazy UFO stories I hear. And I want to go visit some of these famous UFO sites in person. But a while back, I had this epiphany staring at my bank statement, where I realized I was paying for a bunch of subscriptions I barely used anymore. Stuff I'd signed up for ages ago and totally forgot about. It was like uncovering a hidden cover-up in my own finances. That's when I started using Rocket Money. And honestly, it's been a game changer ever since. The app scans all my linked accounts, finds those unwanted subscriptions in one place, and lets me handle cancellations right there with just a few taps, saving me time and stopping those sneaky charges. And the automated savings feature, it's set it and forget it. So I can finally go visit some of these UFO sites in person. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Who doesn't want that? Let Rocket Money help you reach your financial goals faster. Join at rocketmoney.com/vetted. That's rocketmoney.com/vetted. rocketmoney.com/VETTED. Or just use the link in the description as well.
Let's dive into this. Here's the first video. This was on January 9th of 2026.
Okay, this is mind-blowing. This is amazing. I wanted to do this post to let you know, to share the news. I was contacted last night by an insider from Washington, D.C., from the Trump administration, who told me basically that President Trump has already written his speech, his statement that he will give about UFO disclosure this year. It was originally scheduled for September at the United Nations Assembly. He has been authorized, apparently, by the world's leaders to give this speech, but he's a bit wary that China and Russia may jump the gun on him. So be prepared. We could get UFO disclosure, the truth, very, very soon. Maybe even in the next week or so. It's going to happen. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. This is mind-blowing. It's a paradigm-shifting event that will change how we think about the world, ourselves, the religion, the universe, you name it. Okay, let me know your thoughts. This is going to happen. Trump will be the UFO disclosure president. Thank you.
All right, so Mark seems very confident that this is going to happen, right? And that Trump will be the U.S. disclosure president. Again, the speech that we've all wanted to hear from whoever, essentially, but that the world leaders are, have approved this speech for Trump to give it. That sounds, that's a red flag. And that China and Russia are worried about it. because they may jump the gun, right? Initially, he was supposed to give it in September at this United Nations, event, and he could be giving it within the next week. Well, weeks has passed since that video came out, essentially, and nothing has happened. But again, there is a second video, so stay with me. But I have to admit, okay, Mark is a great guy. I really enjoyed interviewing him. I only had the one conversation with him. I did enjoy his documentary about Rendlesham Forest. But I have to admit, there's a lot of red flags here. Okay. I don't believe that Trump is going to be giving this speech, and we'll get into how I feel about that information even being passed to him in just a moment. Okay. But let's hear the next video, because Mark lays out now the exact date that this is going to happen, because the insider contacted him again.
Okay, massive breaking bombshell news. Remember that Washington Trump administration insider that told me that President Trump had already written the speech ready to go for UFO disclosure this year? Well, now he's got back to me and told me the exact date, and you can hold me to account for this, okay? It's going to be July the 8th. Why July the 8th, you might ask? Well, it's basically the 79th anniversary since the Roswell press release. So that's why. And he's basically going to be saying, yeah, Roswell was real. We captured a flying saucer. We captured occupants. This is the truth that he's going to reveal. And we have an ongoing program alongside the aliens, reverse engineering their technology, and they're living amongst us, basically. This is the truth that's going to be released on July the 8th. What are your thoughts? Thank you.
And of course, he uses bombshell there at the beginning, and we all know that's why I use bombshell, y'all, because people say these things are bombshell news all the time. Every week, every day, there's just people coming out saying they got bombshell news, right? So that's one of the reasons that I use bombshell, y'all. I use it ironically, kind of just a play at the system of how it is in this community. Everything is bombshell breaking news coming out, right? Somehow about this topic, and that we're going to get disclosure, and that this is happening. It's just around the corner. But he's basically laying out that this is going to happen on July 8th of this year, 2026, that Trump is going to give the "We Are Not Alone" speech, right? He's been approved by world leaders. He's going to be giving it at Roswell, right? And this was almost a week later, essentially, that he put, Mark puts out this video, and the insider contacted him again to give him the exact date. So again, another red flag. Why didn't the insider just tell him everything all at once, right? It's kind of drip feed him. And honestly, if I'm Mark, I'm telling this guy, you put out that information. Why are you using me to put that out? Because now Mark's credibility is on the line. If this speech doesn't happen on that date, Mark's going to look like a fool. Whether he is a fool or not is besides the point, right? I personally, again, I like Mark, and I mean no disrespect towards him, but I kind of feel like he's being used here, right? Now, he may want to be used in the sense that he thinks it's for the good, right? He seems like a good guy, genuine, and he probably thinks this is a good thing, right? He's been studying UFOs a long time, built up contacts, thinks he's doing the right thing because he believes it's a paradigm shifting event. And I can't say I disagree with that. It is a paradigm shifting event if that's true and it's going to happen, but it's not, right? That's my prediction. I'm going to tell you, it's not going to happen. I would put money on it, to be honest with you. Not only is Trump not going to give that speech this year, he's not going to give it on July 8th, right? Confirming that we are not alone in the universe, right? That's not going to happen because the biggest reason is leaks. Mark is from the UK. He's a foreign national to the American government. And if there was a Trump administration insider giving him this information, that would be leaking. That would be treason. Okay? So, and Mark would be revealing classified information. You don't think that would be huge, right? And you'd be giving up all your cards, letting China and Russia know that this is going to happen, and other world leaders, right? Like, it doesn't make sense. for this video to go out, right? And clearly, quote, this insider gave him permission to put it out. Now, I don't think Mark just made this up. I do think someone told him this, and that's why he's putting it out. But that's the problem with insider sources and stuff. They get you to put your name on the line. They get you to put your reputation on the line. So I don't use any of that stuff or talk to people like that or let them tell me stuff to put out on Vetted. It's absolute nonsense, right? Because then when the stuff doesn't happen, you look like a fool, right? And unfortunately, that's probably what's going to happen to Mark. And that's just sad because, again, I like Mark and I like what he contributes to the UFO community. But I definitely feel like he's being used here. And again, you can't just leak information like this, okay? Look, remember when Maduro was captured by the United States government down in Venezuela? That just happened. Check out what happened to this leaker who leaked some of the information, classified information about that operation.
What's very important is the leaker has been found and is in jail right now. And that's the leaker on Venezuela. And a very bad leaker. So there could be some others, and we'll let you know about that. We're hot on their trail. But the leaker has been found, and the leaker's in jail. And will probably be in jail for a long time. Let's see what happens.
That's right. He went to jail, right? Because the American government will absolutely clamp down on classified information getting out. And if what Mark is saying is true, that would be classified information. How could it not be classified that Trump is going to give that speech?
We are not alone in the universe.
The most paradigm shifting speech in humanity's history. And you're telling me they're not going to classify that? Doesn't make any sense, right? Again, check out what they say about leakers.
Unlawfully leak classified and very serious information to this Washington Post reporter. Hence why the reporter's home was looked into by the FBI, rightfully so. And the administration is not going to tolerate leaks, especially from within the national security apparatus of the United States government, that put our nation's integrity and our national security at risk. Full stop. The president will not support that. I know the Secretary of War will not support that, and it will not stand. And legal action will be taken against anyone, whether it's a member of the press or whether it's an employee for a federal agency who breaks the law. If you break the law and if you endanger our men and women in uniform, you are going to be held accountable, period, full stop.
Yeah, that's the press secretary, right? Talking about this. It's just not possible, in my opinion, at all. That this information would get out if it was true. So who is this person telling Mark this stuff? If I was Mark, again, I would tell him, you put out the information. If you're so confident in it, you put it out, right? Now, Mark maybe wants some clicks and views. I don't think so. I don't think you really would put your reputation on the line for that. I think there's just a lot of people in the UFO community who deeply believe in this. And they deeply believe that, that it's possible, because I also believe it's important. I mean, a lot of us do, right? But he believes it's possible. And, you get so deep into this, you start to think that these people are telling you the truth. But again, why would an American insider working for the government in the Trump administration tell this UK filmmaker the most classified information, some of the most classified information ever about the speech? Now, you may be saying, Patrick, that speech wouldn't be classified. Oh, yeah, would it? Come on. You're telling me it's just going to leak out through Mark in the UK that Trump's going to give this speech? Come on now. That just doesn't make any sense. And it makes me really sad to see people being used like this, to be honest with you. And again, if I was Mark, contact your insider. Right? Do you think Mark's ever going to trust this guy again when that speech doesn't happen? Right? I mean, it's just, you put your reputation on the line when you make predictions. And my suggestion to content creators and UFO researchers is don't be a mouthpiece for these insiders. Right? If they're so confident in it, make them put it out. Don't put your name behind it. Now, people fall back on, well, I was told. The "I was told" that should be a t-shirt. That's one of the top phrases you hear in this community. Well, I was told. Well, I was told. Well, I was told. Well, I was told. And that's basically it. Everyone just tells you what they were told by some mysterious figure. And we never get to know who those figures are, because they use people to put out information. Then you have to wonder, why would this insider want Mark to put this out? Right? Well, what's the point? Right? That I don't know. Very interesting. But do we really think Trump is worried about this disclosure right now? He barely cares about the UFO stuff. He never saw Age of Disclosure. Dan Farrow said Trump was going to be revealing all this. Nothing happened. Nothing's happening. He's worried about other things. Foreign policy, Iran, Israel, Ukraine, Venezuela, oil, immigration, ICE agents, right? Like, there's so much happening. This just isn't happening. I'm sorry. Could there be some speech drafted potentially? Yeah, that's possible. They draft all kinds of speeches. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. But I honestly don't even think that speech is drafted. I think the entire story is bunk, in my opinion. And really the only way to find out is to wait till July. But again, you have to ask yourself, why did the insider then wait a week to tell Mark, right? The date. Isn't that weird? Right? Don't you think that's weird? I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm going to put all the links down below. Check it out for yourself. Let's go from there. All right, vetters. We'll see you guys on the next one. Remember, every day's a gift, y'all. Peace.
Hello, I have a question. I was hoping maybe George Knapp or Jeremy Corbell or some other expert who's listening to this could answer. I noticed that when News Nation uploaded their photo of the so-called jellyfish UFO over the secret base in Iraq, it kind of looked eerily similar to the ancient Egyptian god Anubis, but there was no real discussion on that, either on the Weaponized podcast or on News Nation, or really in the UFO community in general. And I was wondering if maybe you could reach out to Corbell and Knapp and have them dive a little bit deeper into that, because just from zooming in on the photograph, it looks very similar to the deity Anubis. That's all. Thank you very much.